Hate to boast, but I told you so, and I was labelled at the time a conspiracy theorist for trying to warn Victorians back then, almost 5 years ago, when Daniel Andrews first cancelled the Australia Day parade under the guise of protecting the community from COVID-19. I called it then because it was clear to me that it had nothing to do with protecting our health and everything to do with the opportunistic Labor government seizing the government-made crisis to action their Australia-hating agenda. Well, here we are, years on, and no scary virus to blame, but the Victorian Labor government still refuses to reinstate the popular event celebrating our National Day. It's shameful stuff. But if you remember back then, when Dictator Dan first cancelled it, I tried to raise the alarm, pointing out how they allowed both Black Lives Matter to rally in their tens of thousands and Test cricket to go ahead as usual, while insisting our National Day celebrating the best country in the world had to be axed for our own safety, of course. But how obvious could they make it for people to wake up? Listen, 63% of Australians believe that Australia Day should remain on January 26. Yet the Victorian government thinks it's a-okay to scrap Australia Day celebrations. And at the same time, their Midsummer Pride March, which represents only 5.7% of Victorians, proceeds annually, no problems, despite last year's event turning violent. And let me ask you something, and be honest with yourself. Do you think they'd ever scrap something like Chinese New Year celebrations? Don't be silly, because they just hate Australia. So if you haven't done so already, sign and share our petition at saveaustraliaday.com. Send a message to those trying to destroy our national identity. saveaustraliaday.com. It takes 2 seconds. Sign and share.